Rookie Noah Gragson will miss the race at Sonoma this weekend due to a concussion sustained at Gateway last week. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. I wasn't planning on doing a video today, so we're gonna keep this one quick. Some bad news coming out of Legacy Motor Club. Noah Gragson will miss this weekend's Cup Series race at Sonoma Raceway. Grant Enfinger, the most recent winner in the Craftsman Truck Series, will fill in and drive the number 42 Cup car. Truck Series is off this weekend. Grant Enfinger drives for GMS and Trucks. They have a relationship with Maury Gallagher and the group over at Legacy Motor Club, so a logical replacement. Good luck to Grant Enfinger this weekend, but the focus is on Noah Gragson and unfortunately his health. Towards the end of this weekend's race at Gateway, Noah Gragson lost brakes, brake rotor exploded. He slid through the infield grass partially up into the outside wall hard. He retired from the race, visited the infield care center, was released, spoke to the media afterwards. But according to Legacy Motor Club's statement, upon return home to North Carolina, Gragson began to experience concussion-like symptoms midweek and is seeking treatment. Co-owners Maury Gallagher and Jimmy Johnson released a statement. Noah's health is the highest of priorities and we commend him for making the decision to sit out this weekend. We are appreciative that Grant was available and willing to step in since the Truck Series is off this weekend. This is the first Cup Series driver to miss time this season due to a concussion or concussion-like symptoms, but of course this was a talking point, unfortunately, the second half of last season with Kurt Busch suffering a concussion at Pocono, out for the season. Ultimately, apparently, ended his NASCAR career maybe a year early. Then Alex Bowman during the playoffs suffered a concussion during a routine spin and crash at Texas Motor Speedway. He missed the remainder of the season with that injury. NASCAR did make changes during the offseason to the rear clip, the rear section of the next gen car to soften those rear impacts. And somewhat ironically, unfortunately, today, earlier this morning, they announced additional next gen safety changes. NASCAR released today, alongside the right side door bars and extending towards the rear clip, teams will now be mandated to run a steel plate in addition to the chassis adjustments made for the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The right side door bar gussets and the removal of the front clip V-brace are changes that remain, in addition to the removal of other front clip components to create a softer and larger crush zone for frontal impacts. Also included in the updates are front bumper strut softening, modifications to existing parts, the requirement of an empty front ballast box, and a modified cross brace. NASCAR will incur the cost of all these updates. These changes will all become mandatory beginning at Atlanta next month. So NASCAR is clearly aware and has been aware, I think for quite some time, of the fact that the next gen car does not absorb routine crashes, routine impacts, as well as the previous generation car did. NASCAR built the next gen car to be extremely tough, extremely durable and resilient, almost to a fault. I think they built this car, they designed this car with incidents like the one Ryan Newman suffered at Daytona in 2020 in mind. This car was built to protect the drivers from catastrophic, major, scary impacts like those, and unfortunately does not absorb the more routine crashes as well. NASCAR certainly deserves criticism for this. I mean, they were primarily the ones designing this car. You can blame the pandemic for some things. Obviously, part shortages, also it interfered with a lot of NASCAR's real-world testing they were trying to do. But at the end of the day, the vast majority of responsibility for these issues falls on NASCAR's shoulders. So I hope what their statement there is true, that at the very least, they are incurring the costs of all these new safety changes. I don't think it'd be fair for the teams to have to pay thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of dollars to fix NASCAR's design flaw. I do feel bad for Noah Gragson. To be fair, as opposed to the Kurt Busch and Alex Bowman crashes last year, which didn't look too alarming to the naked eye, Gragson's crash at Gateway was a pretty major impact. I don't care what generation of car you're talking about, that impact hurts. The driver's gonna feel some of that. I hope Noah Gragson, I hope he's not out too long. Hopefully maybe this is just a one race precautionary measure. He does have an off week after Sonoma to hopefully recover some, but I hope Noah Gragson gets back behind the wheel sooner rather than later. Wishing him the very best. Good luck to Grant Enfinger, who I believe will be making, is this his Cup Series debut officially? Yeah, he's basically been a Truck Series lifer, or at least ever since he won that ARCA championship back in 2015. So good luck to Grant Enfinger this weekend at Sonoma. Hope Noah Gragson makes a full recovery sooner rather than later. Those are just my quick thoughts. Once again, I applaud NASCAR for continuing to make safety improvemements to the next-gen car, but at the same time, the initial flaws in the original next-gen design are still too big to ignore. That being said, hard driver's side door impact like that, doesn't matter what generation of car we're talking about, what series we're talking about, those kinds of impacts are gonna hurt regardless. But let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We talk NASCAR news, rumors, drama, race recaps, and much, much more every single day. And thank you, my Patreon supporters, as always, for your continued and very generous support. Wishing Noah the very best once again. Really terrible news to hear, but we'll be back tomorrow. I've got another video planned. I will see you all then. Have a great rest of your Thursday, folks.